So this is April 13th, 2021. This is Sue Moore. We're interviewing for the BE collection. Thank you for being a part of this. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. All right, good. So this is, I start simply with where were you born?
I was born in St. Johnsbury, Vermont.
Huh. Where is that? I have family in Vermont.
It's in the northeast corner.
So how long did you stay in Vermont?
I left when I was 20.
Mm-hmm. So,
and I turned 21 on the way out to California.
What made you decide to come to California?
You know, when I was in high school, I thought it sounded very exciting to live there. And I was thinking it's kind of boring in Vermont as a teenager and a young adult. So that kind of drew me to this area.
What was your growing up like? Did you have siblings?
Yes, I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. Mm-hmm. My brother has now passed away. But...
Sad. And were they older, younger? Where do you fit in the?
Yes, I'm the youngest.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
And your parents? What kind of employment occupations do they hold?
My father was a doctor. He was a general practitioner and the public health officer for the small town that we lived in. Mm-hmm. And my mom did not work. She was a homemaker and took care of us 5 kids.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So you didn't aspire to be a doctor?
No. We all agreed that I was lucky to get out of high school. So
really?
Yeah. I didn't like school very much, and I liked the sports in high school, but didn't like school. So
I understand.
My father, I guess he was afraid that I was going to end up living with them for a long time after I graduated high school. So he suggested I go down to the local telephone company and see if I could get a job.
And that was in Vermont?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
So then he helped your direction then?
He definitely did, and I thank him every day.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
What was your first job with the telephone company?
It was an operator.
Mm-hmm.
And that was back in, that was 1970 when I started. So I don't think there were many other options for us women back then. So
I don't know that field, but sounds like what I do know is the women did the operator part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there were no men operators back then.
Now that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm a nurse, and at that time there were not many male nurses.
Okay.
And that's changed too, a lot. Yeah. So then, were you aware of your sexuality, your preferences when you were a teenager, or when did you first think that maybe?
No, it was after I moved to California and was attracted to one of my fellow co-workers that I realized what was happening. And
how did you come to California?
What's that?
How did you travel to California? Car?
I had a Volkswagen van.
Good for you.
Yeah. And one of my roommates in St. Johnsbury, her boyfriend was going to graduate school at USC. Mm-hmm. And so she agreed to come out to California with me. So the 2 of us traveled out in the Volkswagen van and settled in Torrance, California.
Do you still have that van?
No.
I bet you wish you did, huh? That was wonderful, huh?
Yeah, they were fun, that's for sure.
They were, yeah. I came out to California from Chicago. Oh. And I'll tell you, I only made the trip twice. That was enough. It's really hard. Everything I had fit in the trunk of my car.
Yeah.
No. So then you settled in Torrance. You transferred to the phone company?
I actually had to quit when I left Vermont. So I went to the local telephone company in California, one of them, which was General Telephone at the time. And I applied and I got a job as an operator.
Huh. They were happy to have you, probably, with your experience.
Yeah, yeah. It was very interesting. It was very different from working in Vermont. We had to wear nice clothes to work. In California, people came off the beach, onto their job, and it was very different, but very, very exciting because I was like 21 at the time. So,
did you expand your social network through your work?
Yeah, I did. I had friends that were operators also, and some of the supervisors. But, I did not meet many gay people until this one that I met, who was also an operator. And she's the one that I was attracted to and ended up being my first girlfriend.
Great. And so did you approach her, or did she approach you? Was it mutual?
I think we became friends first, and we did stuff together, and then she made the first move. Yeah, which was good. I don't know if I ever would have done it, just seeing I was so new at it.
Was she older or about the same age?
I think she was a year or two older than me. Yeah.
You moved in together?
Eventually we did, yes. And one thing I had to do was tell my roommate who came out from Vermont with me, because I was still living with her. I had to come out to her. And she was kind of surprised.
Was she?
Yeah.
She was not a lesbian?
No. She was the one who had the boyfriend. Yeah.
So then did you move out with this new person?
Yes.
And were you out with her at work?
I don't think we really tried to hide it, but we didn't really come out. So I'm sure people knew, because I'm pretty sure they knew, since she was there longer than me, I think they knew that she was a lesbian.
And how long did you stay with her?
We were together for 5.5 years.
So in your job, have you ever felt any bias because you are a lesbian, or has it ever posed any difficulty? I
have not. I've been very lucky. And because, well, the operator jobs mostly were with women, but after that, I went outside and I worked as a cable splicer, which was almost 100% men. So that was fine. They accepted me.
What is cable splicer? I don't know.
What's that?
What is that?
We splice those big cables, the phone cables, up in the air or in the manholes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you interview for that position?
Actually, what you do is you put a transfer in for it. And at that time, I don't even think I had to take a test. A lot of times you have to take a test for certain jobs, but I don't think I took a test for it. They pull your transfer, and if you have the seniority to get it, then you get the job. And if you can do it, then you get to keep it.
So how did you prove you could do it? Who trained you? Did you have a mentor?
You go to a lot of training classes.
That's good.
And you work with the people on your crew who are more experienced than yourself. So that's where a lot of learning came from.
I bet.
Those things where you go to school and you learn things, but you don't really use them in the field. You use what the field people do.
OJT.
Yes. And I would say the hardest part of that job was pole climbing.
I bet.
Yeah. And I never really got used to that. I had to do it a few times, but not a whole lot of times. But, and then I was a cable splicer for 14.5 years.
Oh.
And then it got
to be very physical.
Yes. And they got to be those you carry a 28-foot ladder, and those manholes are like 200 pounds. And it just got to be too much. So I transferred into the engineering department. And I got a job as what's called an engineering fielder, which means you're an assistant to the engineers who are management people. So I did that for a while, and then I got, see, they had a cutback. So I lost that job. And to stay in the engineering department, I took a transfer as a CAD drafter. So I wouldn't have to go back outside again. So it was a big cut in pay, but it kept me inside, and I learned the CAD system, so computer-aided drafting.
So are you into that now? I mean, you're now retired? Are you?
No, I am now retired, but I did the drafting job for 7 years, and then I was able to get that engineering fielder job again, which is a much higher paying job. So that's what I did before I left, before I retired. And learning the CAD system had helped me a great deal.
I'll tell you, you're really a good advocate for yourself, huh? You have all those jobs. I mean, really, you know, it's like you represented you.
Yeah.
It's remarkable.
I feel very proud of what I was able to do, considering, you know, I didn't have a lot of confidence in not going to college or anything. So I was able to do a career and several jobs within that career to sustain me until I could retire.
Would you advise a young woman today to seek employment with a phone company as a good career move?
I don't know if I would do that, because it's definitely different now. You know, it's cell phones now. It's not the landlines. So the jobs are not something that you can hold for, you know, like 46 years like I did. So I don't know. I think going into a computer job is probably, you know, much better than going with phone company.
How many lesbians do you think are in the phone company?
Boy, probably a lot. There was one section of time when I was a cable splicer that there were, quite a few around me. But by the time, like just before I retired, I believe I was the only woman actually in the Morgan Hill yard and the neighboring yard too, because there had been so many cutbacks. But
where did you meet Claudia?
We met on a rafting trip on the Grand Canyon.
Did you ever consider changing your career when you were in the phone company? Did you say, well, maybe I should do something else besides this? Although you sort of changed right within your job.
Yeah, I was able to change within the phone company, so that was nice.
I like that idea.
Because
that's the advantage of a large corporation.
Right.
Lots of jobs and titles. So has there been any one person that was sort of inspired you to work, to do different hobbies, to just do your life?
Well, you know, my first girlfriend that I had, she inspired, she actually helped me learn how to cook. I do a lot of cooking now, and we went to fine restaurants, and so I was able to appreciate, you know, fine eating and cooking. So I learned a lot from her. And Claudia, I learned a lot. She's a very hard worker, and she is just full of ideas, and there's never anything that she doesn't want to do. She wants to do everything. So I have to kind of slow her down a little bit. But, you know, there's always something to do because she's always willing to do it.
I don't know. I think that's a good match. You're sort of the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, you were in your job, certainly.
Yeah.
You have so many jobs within the job. Yeah. If you think about what kinds of things center you, like maybe cooking, camping, your relationship, what would you add to that?
My animals.
What kind of animals do you have?
2 cats.
Your cats?
2 orange ginger cats. They're sleeping somewhere else now. They're not.
What would you like people to remember about you? After you're deceased, what's your legacy you'd like to have people know and pass on?
Well, hopefully I made people laugh.
Uh-huh.
I hope I have made people happy and I've made them laugh.
That's a great thought. I like that.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's really nice to know you. I feel that your participation is a gift. I know initially you felt a little reluctant, but this is great.
As long as you ask the questions, I'm willing to answer them.
Is there one I should have asked?
No.
Okay, good. So I did pretty well. Thank you. Yeah. So in closing, I'd say thank you.
And thank you for doing this and keeping our lives alive.
It's interesting because I can see you're very intelligent. Because you didn't want to go to college doesn't. I've met a lot of people in my life, fortunately, and you're very intelligent. So never undermine yourself on that.
Well, thank you.
Took a different direction.
Right.
It's a good one. So thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, Diane. Take care.
You too.
Okay.